What is going on, everybody? Coming from the DCTV lab here. Let me see if I can see it coming through on Twitter too. That's where we should be on Twitter. We should be on YouTube, man. We're like big time these days, you know?
There we are.
You seeing it?
My camera looks better this time. It was gray last time. There we go.
Well, you know what? Every time we do it, we're just gonna keep improving, right? Isn't that the goal? Awesome, man. How you doing? It's the best time of the year. What more could you ask for?
Literally is, yeah. I would say this weekend with the Big Ten tournament finishing up, I just love the Big Ten tournament, and then Selection Sunday is just so hype. I'm a huge baseball lover, clearly, with the Cubs hat on. That's 2 Thursdays from now. Like, this is literally like the best time of the year.
Well, I guess at some point then we'll have to get you on to do baseball. We got to finish. Here's the problem, Braden. Last time we talked, we did too good of a job, and now we have to run it back. You know what I'm saying? Like, we walked through a whole Friday slate of games, and we'll have you kind of talk about you real quick. Remind everybody. So, like, are you just pulling these out of nowhere? Like, how do you work in your capping?
Yeah, so my capping is probably a little different than most people. It's extremely numbers based. I don't really give my personal opinion into anything that I see. I have a data science degree from Michigan Tech. So basically, I built my own models that simulate the games. It tells me the probabilities of certain events happening, probability that a team covers, or probability the team goes over or under, or they win the game. And then I compare those odds to the sportsbook's odds, and any difference is value. So that's how I get my CLV, and that's how we win long term. A lot of other people like to cap games with their personal knowledge of watching the teams all season, which is perfectly fine too. But I'm more in the math heavy realm.
Well, that impresses me because you said you got your degree from Michigan Tech, and I know Michigan Tech. So the fact that you escaped the snow at some point in your life and you're not like just still stuck up there, you're already winning, man. Like
it was actually online, so I can't really say that I was up in Houghton. I did go there one time, but yeah.
Dude, those winters up there are no joke. No joke. Yeah. But I mean, we're pretty much out of winter. We're into March Madness. We're into conference final time, or in conference tournaments, which I love because, again, we talked about this in the past. I'm a mid-major guy, so we're going to get some mid-major games in here too. But we're closing down. We're starting to figure out what the pool's going to look like for the tournament this year, which is the best time.
Mid-major, Miami, Ohio losing yesterday is insane. Now they're on the bubble, and are they a first 4 team? What are they? It's just insane.
I don't want to go too far down these rabbit holes because I want to talk about today's games, but I saw a Goodman tweet yesterday as soon as Miami lost, and he was so right. Put Miami and Auburn in the first 4, and that is must-see TV.
Auburn would be like an 8-point favorite. I don't care. It'd be must-watch TV. Yeah.
Must-watch. Just to see what's, put Bruce Pearl on the call. Like, let's just do this.
Yeah.
Let's just do this. All right, man. Speaking of doing this, you ready to talk some hoops today?
Yes.
So there's 2 games already in action. So we're not even going to hit those. I mean, we're not going to get your opinion because it's late on those. But so we're missing George Washington, St. Louis in the A10 quarterfinal. And we're missing Michigan and Ohio State. That's probably going to be a blowout, though. Let's just be honest. Call that is what it is. Yeah. Doesn't matter, though. So we're actually going to start in the Conference USA semifinal day between Missouri State and Louisiana Tech. You got anything for us there? Because again, you're pulling numbers, and I've always found that some of these mid-major games are the best value.
So we had Middle Tennessee to beat Louisiana Tech yesterday. That bet was a loser. I really liked Middle Tennessee to come out of that conference. They didn't. I've got Missouri State winning by 1. It's interesting because they have a 3.5. They're behind 3.5 in the standings, yet they're a favorite for me. I think Louisiana Tech has just been really lucky this year, winning a lot of very tight games and just kind of escaping, kind of similar to Miami, Ohio, but not quite as extreme. Missouri State, I think, is the better team. I do have simulations as well for the rest of the A10, if I can find those here. Where are we at here? Atlantic. Where we are. So, no, not
while
the
he's
A10.
Doing this.
I'm sorry, not the A10.
Conference, you say?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah,
you're good. We mentioned A10 quarters going right now between St. Louis and George Washington, but I was just going to say, as you're pulling this up, like, this is what you get with Bet Sharper. This isn't some guy just like having a opinion. He's literally just in the computer running numbers, and he's giving you data. And man, numbers are
Yeah,
winners.
a lot of people that I talk to really don't like that. They're either uncomfortable with math or they don't believe in the math, which I understand. But really, though, like it's what matters. It's what beats the market. But anyway, Missouri State 53% chance to advance, and then if they were to play Sam Houston with a 32% chance to beat them, so. I really like the angle with Middle Tennessee State, but unfortunately, they just couldn't hit anything yesterday. So,
in mid-major land, that's all it takes, and all of a sudden your season's done. Doesn't matter. I know. All right, man. We're going to move over to the SEC tournament where we've got Kentucky and Florida, which, I mean, only a couple weeks ago, this was a top 25 matchup. I think we talked about this one.
Yeah. This is Kentucky's third game in 3 days. And when you're playing Florida, who just runs the floor with such efficiencies, I mean, Florida might just put up 100 points easily. Like, I see the line is coming down. I don't know if that's just sharp action or they're trying to test the market here to see if they're going to get a Florida rebound. But I have Florida only by 10. That's not factoring in the rest. It's not factoring in, like, the tempo as well. Kentucky are really talented. Like, I think they were AP number like 15 or something coming in, but they just haven't been able to put it together. That's a stay away from me. I really don't have anything there.
Well, it's funny. You mentioned you think you could see Florida putting up 100, you said, right?
Yeah.
I'm seeing the line. I love totals personally. I'm not good at them, but I love totals. And I'm seeing a total at 160.5. So if you think Florida can really run this floor, unless Kentucky can slow that game down, right? Like,
well, I mean, 87 is the number that I have projected, but again, like with the variance in the tempo and Kentucky being tired, you could probably bump that up a few points. So now we're at about 90, and then 100's right around the corner there. So yeah,
it's an option. Or it might not be. What do I know? This is why you're here, because no one wants to hear me. We're here for you.
Well, I also don't know either. Like, I'm not going to act like my numbers are 100% accurate. No one's are, but it's a very good representation of what is likely to happen.
No, and I love that. And again, that's why we've got you back on for a second go round, because again, it's just fun to watch how you all work. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's got a system, and I love watching your system go. So let's use your system and jump over to the ACC, where we've got Charlotte and UAB. Anything there of value to you?
I would be leaning Charlotte there. It's +6. I make it 4.5. I don't know the history between the two teams this season. I'd have to go back and look.
Both teams seem to be pretty middle of the pack here in the ACC. You've got UAB at 11-7, Charlotte at 9-9. You know, no one's running away with anything necessarily. So it should be records would say this is going to be a pretty even matchup.
Yeah, I'm not sure the head-to-head. It doesn't really matter as much as people think it does. I think UAB won both matchups, if I remember correctly, which would give more value to Charlotte, believe it or not. Very hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. That third game, the adjustment usually goes to the underdog better than the favorite. And then, so just the power rating leans Charlotte, and then that I lean Charlotte as well. So not sure if they win, but I think they can hang within +6.
All right. So you mentioned it, you know, it's the phrase, it's tough to beat a team 3 times. You know, you hear this a lot in college basketball. So do your metrics kind of take that into a factor? Is that factored in the numbers?
No, it's not. So that's kind of a contextual thing that I have to look at. So yeah, the model is just straight math. It's not really contextual factors. So when an unranked home team is up against a ranked road team and they're the favorite, well, they're going to get a bigger boost because of that ranked team coming to town, but my model might not really catch up on that. So I always have to like manually add another point or two to those numbers. But usually most of the time I don't have to touch the numbers at all. It's kind of just is what it is.
No, that makes sense. Like I said, you at some point you start to overthink everything, right? And yeah, you can't. It's tough to beat a team 3 times in a season. Thing definitely comes up.
I mean, yeah, that's just classic overfitting of a model. You include too many variables, and you would think that more variables means better. Well, no, your accuracy can go down if you do that.
Absolutely. All right, man. We're going to jump to one of my other favorite conferences. because my favorite conference is already done. That's the Horizon League. They've got their champion in Wright State. They're ready to try to make some noise in the NCAA tournament. So we're gonna jump to one of my other favorite conferences because it just always seems to be such a wild card, and the SWAC.
Yeah.
The SWAC is just fun to me. I don't know what it is. It just always seems to be like a roll of the dice, like what's going to happen on any day. So we've got Prairie View A&M, Alabama A&M in the SWAC semi. What you seeing?
Well, it's funny because Texas Southern was like the SWAC team to beat, and then then they fell off, and then like Prairie View was good, then they fell off, and now what? Alabama A&M I think made the tournament last year. Who are we talking? Southern and Florida A&M right
now? Prairie View and Alabama A&M.
Oh, right here. Yeah. So I have Alabama A&M at 62%, which means they win by they win by 4 at 62%. And they're a 1.5 point favorite. So I lean Alabama A&M pretty heavily there. It's not quite like a bet, but I lean Alabama A&M. Yeah.
And slightly better in conference at 10-8, Prairie View 50-50, 9-9. Should be an even matchup though. So I'm a little surprised to see some of the lean even there.
Well, it's just funny. I can't name a single player in this entire conference, but I can come up with numbers to at least try to beat the market. So that's what it's about. That's why I do this. Yeah.
Absolutely. I can't tell you that I can name a player in the SWAC either, but I know that anytime I watch a game, I'm like just locked in on it. I'm like, yes, I love it.
Yeah, it's always on it's always on YouTube. It's never on ESPN. You have to like search it on YouTube. I think
you can find it ESPN Plus, right?
Well, sometimes, yeah. But like Monday, it'll be like Alcorn versus like Alabama State, and you can't find it.
Well, this I can tell you because I'm looking at this one is on ESPN Plus if you want to, get some SWAC in your day. So but no, I just love these games. They're always competitive. Definitely fun to see just how the numbers shake out on that one. Gonna jump over to the A10. How you feel about that? We got St. Bonaventure and Dayton.
All righty.
What are you seeing on those two?
St. Bonnie and Dayton.
Coming to us from Pittsburgh. PPG Paints Arena. Nice arena if you've never been.
No.
As an Oakland fan, that's an arena that I think very highly of from only a couple of years ago because that's where the magic happened. So automatically I'm in.
Yeah, up against Kentucky. That was my best, like one of my best friends, a huge Kentucky fan. He hated that. But let's see.
Shout out Jack Oakey, just in case Jack's listening. Shout out Jack Oakey, our savior. All right. Anyway, sorry, this is not an Oakland moment. This is a St. Bonnie and Dayton. What you got?
Bonnie's won 2 in a row as an underdog. Public is probably loving them. The numbers are not loving them. I've got Dayton by 7, and they're a 5.5 point favorite. So it's not sexy at all to take Dayton and just be the contrarian against Bonnie. Yes, they're rolling. It's kind of scary, but it doesn't really make sense to take the plus 5.5 here. Dayton is substantially better. They also have the rest advantage. This is their second game in a row. Bonnie's third game in a row. So if you're taking Bonnie today, sure, they could win and cover, but I don't think so.
Bonnie, they're such an interesting team where you've got them at 4-14 in the A10, but still over 500 on the season. Like just a weird thing.
They really fell off late, which kind of opened up value for them because on paper they're a decent team, but their metrics were just bad. So then, of course, they were getting docked in the market. From January 1st to January 18th, I dropped them almost 60 spots in the rankings, which is insane in 3 weeks. So that kind of opened up value on Bonnie. So
there you go. All right, we're going to jump to something that you already said is kind of your bread and butter, your favorite. How about some Big Ten? We missed the start of one Big Ten game this morning, but how about Illinois and Wisconsin?
That one I'm loving. I'm loving Illinois. Really loving it. Nolan Winter's not going to be playing for the Badgers. They are getting out-rebounded like just crazy. I believe it was like 2 of the top 10 opponent offensive rebounding percentage in the last like 30 years. The Badgers just did against Washington and whoever else they played. How they managed to win yesterday was, I don't know how. Illinois is fully healthy. I've got the game at 11.5. I already bet -8.5. So if you guys want a free play, we are on Illinois -8.5 today against Wisconsin. Starts in 2 hours.
Set off those sirens. We just got a free play.
Yes.
Bet Sharp really giving that to you.
I mean, yeah, Nolan Winter's a huge part of that team. They have very good guard play. So does Illinois. Illinois should be able to run up the score.
So you're feeling that one. I knew that you were going to be excited to talk that one, and you didn't even have to look at. You knew already where you were at on that.
Well, it sucks because I like Wisconsin. Like, I think they're good, but they're missing a key piece, especially against an Illinois team that I believe is third in offensive rebound rate in the country. Like, they're just gonna bully you down low, and they are gonna bully you up top too. So it's not gonna be good for the Badgers, I don't think.
Tough matchup for Wisconsin today, it seems.
Yeah.
So as well as you know that one, let's go back to the Conference USA semis here. We've got Kennesaw State and Sam Houston. Probably a little more outside your knowledge base, but that's where your data comes in, right?
Yeah. You said Kennesaw and Sam Houston.
Yeah.
Sam Houston, man, they're actually really good. They just crushed up on New Mexico State too. 82-78. Sam Houston by 4. The line is 3, so there's really nothing to see there. Sam Houston did lose one of their guards, Justin Begg, earlier in the season. It did kind of impact it. A lot of sharp money coming on Kennesaw. There's not a single steam move towards Sam Houston. So when I see the sharp report, basically the line movement, the bet trends compared against the model, I definitely stay away. I would rather the model and the market come into an agreement, because clearly my model is not tuned for this game. There's something else going on that I have not considering. So
something there, huh?
Yeah. I'm not going to act like I know everything again. So I respect the market. There's a lot of other smart bettors that do this too. So that's just to stay away from me.
That's, you know what, but sometimes that's what you got to know, right?
Yeah, no, you're not. You have to be humbled kind of at the same time. You can't just say these are the numbers, these are correct, when they're not. If you're not beating the line on that specific game, it's not going to be correct. So
there you go. All right, well, let's jump over back to SEC. Again, we're just kind of getting through all of the conference tournament stuff. We got to figure out who's going to be in these tournaments, or who's going to win these tournaments, so we know who's going to be in the NCAA tournament, which means you and me are probably going to have to do this at least 1 or 2 more times. But before we get there, you got to finish out this slate. So what do you have what are you seeing with Tennessee and Vanderbilt?
Tennessee returned Nate Ament. Last game just crushed Auburn. I think he put up like 27 or 29. Huge for Tennessee. They were without him for a couple of weeks. They played Vandy last week as well without him. Played well. So I like Tennessee there. I think Tennessee is a good value to actually win the conference championship right now. Of course, they'd probably have to beat Florida next, but if that was the matchup, it'd be a 33% chance for Tennessee, which I think is higher than most people would expect that to be. And then if Bama goes on as expected, I think they're a pretty weak 2 for the conference. Tennessee could beat Bama and then win it. Not sure what the odds are. I would assume that Tennessee is probably undervalued. If you're looking at anything plus 1,200 or greater, I would take them. I got them at plus 900 right now. Loving Tennessee. It just makes a lot of sense.
I love how you just, you find your value here and you know exactly where those lie. I think that's really great. Awesome to see just how your brain works on that too.
Yeah, it's kind of boring in a way, but like it's what wins. So I would rather win and be boring than try to get cute and not win.
You said it earlier. It's not always about being sexy. Sometimes it's finding the value. It's winning.
Yeah, a lot of sports betting isn't even about sports, and a lot of people might disagree with that, but that's truth. So,
well, hey, that's why we've got you on. We want to see how you're doing it. We're going to jump over to back. I say jump over. We've talked this conference once already. We're going to go to the ACC, where we've got a 500 in conference North Texas taking on Tulsa. And Tulsa's a bit of a wagon. I think a little underrated within thing. I mean, 25 wins on the season, 13-5 in conference. What are you seeing?
You said, which conference did you say? Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. American ACC. North Texas and Tulsa.
All right. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good. I'm jumping all over on you. I'm making you find where I am. Like, I love that. It's like a Where's Waldo of betting for you. I love it.
This is a really interesting matchup because North Texas plays really slow and Tulsa plays very fast, and also Tulsa shoots the hell out of the ball. The market indicators, the line movement is really steaming towards Tulsa. It's up to 9. It opened at 7. I have it at 6, so I'm not sure why the line is moving so far. There's not an injury here. It's a neutral court in Birmingham. Give me North Texas. They're going to have to try to slow the game down. Tulsa's going to try to speed it up. It's going to be kind of a chess match. But North Texas generally doesn't get into foul trouble either and doesn't really get blown out. So when you're catching anything less than like double digits with North Texas, it's always interesting because of the tempo and the foul trouble. So right now it's North Texas for me.
So you think at the end of the day, North Texas is going to actually control that tempo? Because like you said, it's a chess match. It's two different styles. How does that play out?
Yeah, I think they're going to they should be able to kind of annoy Tulsa. We'll see though.
That's a great word in college bat. Like, yeah, yes.
Just annoying, yeah.
the gnat, and eventually just kind of give up and let it do its thing. Well, I'm gonna use your word annoying as the transition to this next one, because I think some people might be a little annoyed because we've got Toledo and Massachusetts, and UMass right now is kind of a little. Some people might say a bit of an annoying thing happening here in college basketball, as we talked about. They took out Miami, Ohio, and gave them the first loss of the year. Might have taken Miami, Ohio out of the NCAA tournament, but Mass doesn't care. UMass goes in, and they're in the semis here of the MAC championship going up against Toledo.
Yeah, they had the hardest strength of schedule of any team in the MAC, so their record really didn't show how good they truly were. They closed only as a 6.5-point dog to an unbeaten Miami, Ohio, so that shows you something. UMass is pretty good for the conference, but now everyone's just jumping on UMass. This is just a classic bad spot. This is what the public does for the most part. They use the recency bias. They say, "Oh wow, UMass just beat 31-0 Miami. Why can't they beat 18-14 Toledo as an underdog?" Well, they are catching +2. They should be +4, at least from me. So give me Toledo. It's just another spot where the public is just wrong and they just don't really understand regression of the mean. And this is why a lot of people need Dub Clubber's help, because they don't really understand it. So, but give me Toledo in that one.
Well, see here, because I do need Dub Clubber's help, but I would also be on Toledo because I'm just a big Toledo fan. So, like, cool. Let's you and I agree for very different reasons, and that's perfect. I agree because I'm stupid. You agree because your numbers say so. You know.
Well, coming into the year, I think everyone would have agreed that Toledo was better than UMass anyway, too. So you have your prior set, and then it kind of agrees with your numbers. So, like, it'd be Toledo or nothing. Yeah,
absolutely. All right, I'm going to try to keep us moving here because we've got so many games. I love this time of year. How about Duquesne and VCU? And anything there from the A10 quarterfinal?
Let's see here. Pretty much no. VCU should win that conference. Well, I guess maybe not. We'll see, depending on the outcome of the other games today. But 78% for VCU. They're laying 430. So that's negative value. I guess it'd be Duquesne in that one as well. VCU, and not really a team that tries to slow it down anymore. They've sped it up over the last few years. But I don't really see anything here. No bet. All right.
Sometimes that's okay. You go, nah. How about Seton Hall and St. John's over here in the Big East?
That one I pretty heavily lean Seton Hall. They were ranked to begin the year, then they really fell off. St. John's, couple of big wins. I am showing +6.5. They are +8. But again, it's the same thing. It's steamed from 7.5 to 8.5. So there's something weird there. I generally don't want to fade steam, even though I do trust the model. It usually comes back when I think it will. But Seton Hall, I think, could upset. They have a 27% chance to win today. I would assume the public is just all over St. John's, the 1 seed, but not really sure.
It's the name, it's the record, it's all of it, you know. Sometimes that plays in. Jumping over to the MEAC. What do you have anything in South Carolina State and Howard? Again, schools that we don't just always get to talk about, but we've talked in the past. Sometimes there's some value there. Do you see anything, or how?
I just love the
not so
MEAC.
much.
There's only 7 teams in the MEAC, which is hilarious. I love that. But Howard is like the by far best team. Like
Numbers,
year.
The spread says that too.
Yeah, they're one of the 12-point favorite today or something.
I'm seeing 15.5.
Okay, yeah. SC State, they're not good. Norfolk is typically good. Who else is usually good? Oh yeah, North Carolina Central is usually good. But anyway, for the Howard game, we've got that at 78-64. So yeah, Howard by 14. Linus 16. I guess I don't see anything there. Might be worth a stab at NCCU. North Carolina Central, though, might be solid. Yes, they're a 4.5-point favorite. I have them at 6. Again, I can't name a single player on this team, but Delaware State's really bad. So
I'm gonna say that's a later game with Delaware State there. Okay, so we're gonna North Carolina Central, huh? Some value there. Yeah. Awesome, cool. So we took out 2 MEACs and 1. How about what a day? Let's jump back.
Half the conference right there.
Right there. Jumping over to your favorite Big Ten. We've got Purdue, who's kind of fallen off a little bit from where they were rolling earlier in the year. We've got Purdue and Nebraska. Surprise, Nebraska's a basketball school. What are you seeing here?
It's Purdue for me. They were AP poll number 1 coming in. They have all the talent in the world. 58% for them to advance today. And then if they were to play Michigan, it's a 33% chance they win. It's very similar to Tennessee, where the seeding is going to really fool people, because why would number 7 be seeded favored over the number 2? And then why would number 7 be favored over Michigan State tomorrow? They should be as well, though. And then if they play Michigan on Sunday, 33% chance. So Purdue's my tournament sleeper, the March Madness tournament sleeper, the Big Ten kind of sleeper right now too.
You think it's time for them to round into shape and show back up, huh?
Yeah, like we made a lot of money off Nebraska, but they've kind of regressed to where they should be. They were hurt for a while in the middle of the season, but still, Purdue just is the better team. We'll see what happens today, but they are. So if you can get like plus 1,000 or more on Purdue right now for the Big Ten to run the table, or you can just money line it the rest of the way, I probably like that.
Okay. We're going to jump to a top 10 battle here in the Big 12 tournament, which I think I saw that they've switched out the court. They're done with, they've given up on the glass court, back to hardwood. We've got Iowa State and Arizona.
I'll give another free play on this. That's totally fine.
Set off the sirens.
I'll give one just because you guys are watching. We're taking the over 143. I have it at 149. Typically don't like taking overs in these ranked conference games. They generally like to slow it down, be a little more conservative, but it's showing value, so we're taking it. As far as the game goes, I've got Zona by 4. Arizona is my number 5 team ranked in the country. Iowa State's number 10. Both teams are fully healthy. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I don't really know. Yeah, Zona by 4 is what I can say.
All right, there you got it. What do you have for us for Miami and Virginia? That's a fun one.
Yeah, we were on Louisville yesterday, even without Mikal Brown. That was a loser for us, unfortunate. But I'm seeing the public all over Miami today too because of that. I think Miami's just been red hot over the last month. Virginia, it's funny because I think Virginia is one of the most overrated teams in the country, but I like them today. 76-71. Virginia by 5. They're getting 3 right now. So, yeah, I would assume most of the tickets are Miami. When you see the public majority on a trendy dog like Miami, you kind of have to raise the alarm and say, like, this is probably wrong. The favorite probably has value here. Not every time, but yeah, Virginia or nothing today.
You know, it's funny you said Virginia is one of those teams. Like when I start filling out brackets, I'm like, no, I can't. I just can never get behind Virginia, and I don't know why. I've just never struggled.
They're not flashy. They don't like blow teams out. They just scrappy, just get the job done. But then when it comes to facing a really good team, they fold. They just do. So that's why I know.
Sometimes you got to know who you
I'm
are.
the same way as well. When I see Virginia and I'm like, I can't put this team in the Elite Eight, right? It's Virginia. Like they're going to fail somehow. So
How far until they fail, right?
yeah.
We say that and you watch them be a Final Four team this year because we've said it out loud, right? Isn't that how that works?
Yeah.
The team you mentioned earlier, we've got Ole Miss and Alabama in the SEC tournament. It sounded like you were pretty big on Alabama.
Yeah, it's gonna be just a tempo thing as well. Again, Ole Miss playing a back-to-back here. When you have the back-to-backs up against teams with tempo, it's just a horrible spot matchup for you. My model only says Alabama by 11, and the line is 11.5, but still, it's very similar to the Kentucky-Florida game where Alabama could, it's the same thing, put up 100 points because of the tempo and tiredness of Ole Miss. A lot of people are going to like these big dogs. People are going to, late in the season like this, ask themselves, why are they such a big dog? Take it, and then they get blown out. People just assume that these conference games will be close. They're really not typically anyway. So yeah,
I feel like a game like this, it's time where Alabama, Nate Oates, gets his team together and they start really gearing up for, NCAA tournament time. And you could see them just absolutely laying it down here.
Yeah, their defense is horrible, but if they're hitting their threes as they usually do, then yeah, close to unbeatable when they're hitting their threes.
Awesome. Gonna jump back here to some more MAC coming to us from Cleveland, Ohio. We've got Akron and Kent State. And anything from you on those?
Akron's the clear favorite now that Miami, Ohio's out. That just sucks. Akron was the betting favorite to win it before the tournament started, and everyone was wondering, like, why is Akron the favorite when Miami has never lost? It was like plus 120 for Akron and plus 220 for Miami, but this is why. Akron also had an easier path. Miami was playing UMass, and then it was going to be Toledo, and it's just brutal. But 85-79, I got Akron by 6. The line is 7.5. Akron already did, I believe, win one of these two this year against Kent State. Maybe Kent State has value to win it, actually. Double check that. I would assume that they do. Probably getting slept on a little bit.
Nobody knows what to do with the MAC now that Miami's gone, no one's been paying much attention outside of Miami going undefeated.
Yeah, if it's not Akron, I don't know who it's going to be because Kent, Toledo, and UMass are all very similar in talent. So if Kent gets the upset today, it's going to be the ultimate coin flip tomorrow. So that's fun. I love that. These, especially the MAC is so cool. So
it's a fun league.
Yeah, for football it's the best, and for basketball I enjoy it too.
Absolutely. How about some A10 quarterfinal? Davidson, St. Joe's. Anything jumping out to you there?
Well, Davidson did not deserve to win yesterday. Very lucky finish up against Loyola. That had been embarrassing. St. Joe's was supposed to be one of the better teams. They haven't been. So the prior says St. Joe's, but they do have a couple of injuries right now too. Their guard and center might not play. That's a problem. No steam moves to St. Joseph, so the market's in agreement with Davidson, yet I really don't agree with that. So kind of conflicting. I would say St. Joe's gets it done today, though.
You're on Joe's. All right. A team that I kind of forget even exists sometimes at this point, which is funny from where their history is. How about Georgetown and UConn? Georgetown, just kind of a middling Big East team these days.
Well, they beat Nova by 14 yesterday as a 7-point underdog, and that's insane. 77-60. I got UConn by 16 points. They opened at 13.5. This is a pretty good example. They opened at 13.5. The model said 16. They steamed from 13.5 to 15 in one move this morning, which means a really heavy bet came in on UConn, probably a max. But now at 15, there's no value. So this is the thing at why you need to have a model, because a lot of people are going to look at that steam move and try to follow it as if that's sharp money. Let me tail that. You're not getting the same numbers then. If they win by 14, you lose, they win. If they win by 15, you tie, they win as well. So that's the difference between profit long-term and not being profitable. But still, I do UConn by 16.
You got UConn. Back to that Big Ten. How about UCLA? And it's still weird to me. Like, that's never going to not be weird talking about Big Ten and talking about UCLA. Doesn't compute to me. UCLA, Michigan State, back in Michigan, it would be January, February Izzo. So we're into Izzo. So like Michigan State.
Izzo was born in the same city that I was born in, Iron Mountain, Michigan.
Iron Mountain.
Yeah.
I could have, yes.
Yeah, but I think Michigan State's very overrated. Like they
really.
Yeah, they have a really good resume, but I don't know how. Like, look at the metrics. You're like, how are you coming away with these wins? Are you just getting lucky? I think they are getting lucky. UCLA projects as having the value right now. Should lose by 5. The line is 6, so you don't really get value there. But like, I am not a Michigan State believer at all. If they'd play Purdue next, likely if they win, Purdue or Nebraska, and they would be an underdog to both those teams. At least in my opinion, but I don't think the market would say that. So I will probably be fading Michigan State tomorrow if they win today.
Well, between me, you, and everybody listening on this stream, I can't stand Mick Cronin. So I'm I'm rooting for Michigan State today. And I don't always root for Michigan State. I really don't care, but like I could do with a little less UCLA in my life.
Yeah. If UCLA just wins today and loses tomorrow, it's not a big deal. UCLA just can't run it,
Yeah, that's just me. It's a me problem. I'm fine with that. Let's jump out to Las Vegas, where we've got the WAC tournament happening. UT Arlington, Utah Valley. Anything that you want to hit on there?
Arlington. Wow. Yeah, lean Arlington here. They were supposed to be good too. Utah Valley was not supposed to be this good. So when you have like that dynamic, you always want to lean with the team that was supposed to be good, because in a 30-game sample, most of the data shows up how good you truly are, but not all of it really does. It's not like a baseball season. There's 160 games, but at the end of it, we know how good a team is. It's not like that. So I lean Utah Arlington at the plus 9.5 right now.
Texas Arlington.
Yeah.
Well, and Utah Valley is interesting because they've got that whole dispute noise nonsense happening around all that, and where they're even going to get to play in this tournament. And I think they're good now, but like just a lot of noise happening out there in the WAC.
Yeah.
How about it's kind of staying on the west side here, going from Las Vegas to Henderson, Nevada. Who goes to Henderson, Nevada? Come on, what are you doing here, Big West? We've got Cal State Northridge and UC Irvine.
Irvine's the best team in the conference, I think, at least. But Cal State has been good the last 2 years after being just really bad for like a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be Irvine for me. They're 22-10. I'm not really sure how they've lost 10 games. And then Cal State, just according to the luck rankings as well, it looks like Irvine's been one of the unlucky teams and Cal State's been one of the luckiest. So it's a pretty good spot where you can find good regression candidates and take the unlucky team in UC Irvine.
There you go. All right. Couple more. You got them in you? You need a break? Your computer's like overheating yet with all this? We're good?
Well, I have a bunch of tabs open. Like I have like 30 tabs open.
Dude, that's my brain all the time. I get it. All right. Well, this is I've thrown a lot of weird ones at you, because that's kind of the fun of it. This is a team that we're probably all a little more familiar with. We've got Duke and Clemson.
Yes.
And, obviously Duke currently number 1 in the country. It's Duke. But is there any value there with Clemson, who's 24-9 on the season, 12-6 in the ACC? They're not a bad team. They're not Duke.
No, Duke is dealing with injuries though. Foster and Gamba also out. They almost lost to FSU yesterday. 17-point favorite, won by 1 point. Probably should have lost, honestly. I am on Duke minus 10.5 today. I like Duke in this spot. Clemson, 3rd game in 3 days. Typically, that's historically a bad spot. And then also kind of getting lucky in these games too. Like they probably should have lost to UNC last night. Even with Duke's injuries, they still have Boozer, so that's not a problem at all. Boozer should be able to do his thing. Kind of going to be a low-scoring game, I think, though. So it's going to be all on Duke's defense if they want to cover this game, which I think that they will be able to.
I mean, you said it. You got Boozer going for you, and as long as he's healthy, you're already better than a lot of teams in the country. Like, good place to start. Good place to be when you can start with that, you know?
Yeah.
All right, we got a couple more here. We've got Kansas and Houston. What a fun game. I wish I was in Kansas City for this one.
Yeah, Kansas already beat Houston this year, and I think everyone's going to look at that and say, well, what the hell? Let's take Kansas. And Peterson is healthy. At least we think so.
As far as we know, right.
Yeah, well, we don't know. But I am on Houston today. I like the spot for Houston as well here. It's not like a huge math play. It's more of just a spot. It's a math tie. Thing is, too, what you can do is you can get really good edges if you just key off these sharp sports books like Circa, Westgate, South Point out in Vegas. If you see that they're off market, especially against a public live dog like Kansas, you can get good value because the Westgate is hanging 6 right now. Every other shop is hanging 5.5. Public is all over Kansas. Why would they do that? Well, they're getting respected opinions on Houston at -5.5, where they can't go back to 5.5 because they would get hit again. So you know right there that Houston -5.5 is the side, regardless of what your model says, because the market is probably sharper than any model in the world. It's the aggregate of all the models and minds together. So, yeah, it's Houston.
You know, I like that. And I mean, selfishly, I got to see Houston early in the season and was impressed, you know, with the Kelvin Sampson defense and everything, you know, all the things that make Houston what they are. But they were a young team. But by this point, like when you would talk about young teams early in the season, no one's young anymore. These guys are, you know, a couple games from being in the NBA at this point. Like, we're here now.
Yeah, I really like Kingston Flemings like a lot. I know everyone does too, but he's fun.
Absolutely. All right, so moving along, we've got Oklahoma and Arkansas, which hey, you know, it's March. We've got Kel's got a team kind of coming along here. What are your thoughts?
Is Acuff playing this game? It says unknown.
I have not heard personally. I have not heard the final decision there. I know it's kind of hit and miss right now. A little. I almost would guess no, because at this point, why not make sure someone's fully healthy, because you're going to need them in a week. But I have not heard for sure.
Oh, it says expected to return. Interesting.
See? Okay. I'm stupid. What do I know? This is why you're here.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was limping on the bench last time I saw him. But let's see here. With Acuff in, let me. And there's gonna be zero defense in this game, absolutely zero. It's gonna be right back and forth, just like most Arkansas games. But then you add Oklahoma doing pretty much the same thing. When that happens, you always lean the favorite. More possessions means the favorite is going to be able to pull away more. Instead of 60 possessions in a game, now we're at 70. That's what, a 15% difference. And if you're a 7-point favorite, 15% of 7 is another point. So you're getting a full point of value literally just by targeting these high tempo games, if the books don't adjust, which they usually do. But in this one, I don't think they did. I have them by 9. They are 7.5 with Acuff playing. So, and they have the rest advantage as well. So
there you go. Again, isn't it fun at this time of year just to like kind of figure out who's available, like where are we at, you know, from a health standpoint. It really starts to be a big factor into these numbers and where you kind of want to fall on them.
Yeah, this is what I do all day, guys. This is literally it.
Worrying about people's health. I love this for you. You're like a doctor without any of the doctoring.
Yeah.
How about a couple more? Like I said, I've got 4 more for you. Ready? I've got Nevada and Utah State coming to us from Las Vegas, Mountain West semifinal. You know, you've got Nevada, who's got a bit of a home court advantage, even though it's a neutral site tournament.
Yeah. Nevada, this is weird. Nevada beating Grand Canyon yesterday was kind of unexpected. Utah State crushing UNLV, who they lost twice to already this year, kind of unexpected as well. The good spots for for Utah State, bad spot for Nevada. I believe they already beat Grand Canyon twice as the worst team. So this is just an interesting matchup here, but I don't see the value in this game. Really, it's kind of a coin flip because these teams are very high variance. You just don't know what you're getting at all.
Well, and I mean, selfishly, again, I like to talk about me before a moment. Like Utah State, big fan because they've got Jared Calhoun, and I don't think he's going to be their coach for much longer. I think he's about to go to Pitt or somewhere kind of. He's either, you know, he got big coaching for Youngstown State once upon a time, and big fan, nice dude. He's got Utah State really rolling right now, so I don't think he's going to be there much longer. But for now, I'm enjoying watching their season kind of keep going.
Yeah, I've got a friend that went to Youngstown. So he's well aware of that. He's told me many times he's rooting for Utah State. Yeah.
Sorry for your friend because Youngstown, Ohio, not my favorite location, but great school. Big fan of the school. Just stay within the confines of the school.
Yeah, he grew up in Youngstown and went to Youngstown. He was there his whole life. Now he's in Pittsburgh, actually. So
all right. Well, maybe he'll get some Jared Calhoun soon.
Yeah.
How about Utah Tech and Cal Baptist, the WAC semifinal here? Two teams I don't know if I've ever really spent any time talking about either of these teams in my life. I'm not gonna lie to you, and I don't know that you have either. But that's where the model comes in. You don't have to know anything. You're running numbers.
We took the under in the Utah Tech Abilene game yesterday, and they could not miss a single shot. That was also unfortunate. Yesterday was a losing day for us. Let's see here. I'm gonna go Utah Tech, I think. But Baptist, they're really good for their conference, actually. Their guard play is really, really good, surprisingly good. That's like a team that could, if they win this conference tournament, win a game in March Madness strictly because of the guard play. So
it's always interesting
to go against that.
Some in these smaller conferences, where you don't have the NIL, you don't have the big names, but like guard play is still always really high caliber. I feel like it's the bigs where you see the difference. Mm-hmm. But I feel like you can find really good guards even at these mid and low tier schools.
Yeah, definitely can. Yeah, especially in like California. Like there's you have so many players. Like, hey, come play for Baptist. Okay, it's not like Iowa where it's like you just don't have as many opportunities.
Yeah. Well, this is a school. This next one, actually, both of these next ones are schools that I think can kind of use their location a little bit to help bring in players, even when they don't have maybe the NIL to go with it or whatever. We've got Cal State Fullerton in Hawaii.
Fullerton beat Davis yesterday, and I thought Davis was probably the second best team in the conference. So unfortunate for them. Hawaii is probably the best. Lots of money coming on Hawaii at -4, 4.5, 5. I have Fullerton losing by 3, so that's very interesting. It's kind of conflicting there. Yeah, I don't know. It's 36% for Fullerton, 64 for Hawaii. That's all I got there.
Sorry, you got me still there?
Yeah, good now.
Okay. I lost my mic. I should stop kicking things out from underneath me when I'm talking to you. It'd help. Sorry about that. Last one. And it's another one where personally I'm invested because I live in New Mexico now, and I live 20 minutes from the Pit. Not that this game's at the Pit, but we've got University of New Mexico, San Diego State to kind of wrap out our Friday slate of games.
Is that at 11 o'clock? Let's see.
9:59 my time. So yeah.
11 o'clock tip for me.
It's a late one.
That is pretty clearly San Diego State for me. I think a lot of people will be taking New Mexico. They're just the better team. Like they always recruit better than New Mexico. And New Mexico doesn't play defense. San Diego State does in the conference tournaments. That matters a lot. Actually, they don't play as well as defense as they used to. They also play faster than they used to, which I don't really prefer either. But yeah, I'm going to take San Diego State on a lean, not an official play, but a pretty good lean.
That's fair. I mean, like I said, selfishly, I want to see, I like when New Mexico wins because there's not too many pro sports teams around here, so we got to get behind the teams we can. And that's New Mexico, but I can absolutely see why you would end up at San Diego State there.
Well, and then when they make the tournament, we know what they can do. I swear every time they get in, they are going to do something crazy.
Well, we were talking about, the Cal schools and their ability to recruit. San Diego State's a really good school to recruit to because they've got a little bit of money and San Diego. So, like, hey, you want to come hang out in San Diego, get a degree, and make some money, play basketball? Yes.
Sounds
Okay.
solid, yeah.
I sign me up on that. Like, I still have eligibility. If someone wants to get a hold of me, let me know. We can make this happen.
Yeah.
I can't hoop at all, but I have eligibility. So, like, we've got that going.
Yeah, that's
Man.
one thing. I am so bad at basketball. Like, it's embarrassingly bad. Very good at baseball and football growing up, but basketball ain't my thing.
Baseball was my thing once upon a time, but no
Yeah.
one was paying me for that either. And if we're gonna talk about dub clubbers and baseball, we got to get Dash on with us because he's the actual baseball guy. So
I would love to be on here for like opening day or shortly after. That'd be cool.
We'll have to get everybody working on that for you because, dude, every time you come on, it's a pleasure talking to you. It's fun to see your models. I want to definitely get you on for baseball and see what your baseball models look like because your basketball stuff's really cool, and I'm sure the baseball stuff is just as good.
It's a lot more in depth, the baseball stuff. It was it was more difficult to build the baseball than the basketball. That's for sure.
Well, then all the more reason we absolutely have to get you on, dude. You just ran through a big Friday slate of college basketball games and conference tournament stuff. Anything else you want to plug? Anything else you need to tell people that are still listening to us? I dropped a link in the stream for what was that, 60% off? Isn't that what we decided that one was?
Oh, yeah, 40 or 60%, something like that. Yeah.
On the month, yeah. Whatever, dude. If you're still watching, whatever Bet Sharper is offering you, take it because even 5% off is worth it because this guy's got value for you. He's finding value. So take the value he's giving you to get signed up with him.
And I always tell people if your unit size is $20 or more per game, it makes a lot of sense. Theoretically, you should be able to make back the cost of the subscription and make profit over the course of the month. So if you're a $10 unit better, maybe not. But if you're 20 or more, it makes a lot of sense. I am live on TikTok. I was live this morning breaking down the slate. So follow me over there at Bet Sharper. And then obviously here on Twitter as well. We'll be posting a lot of free plays in baseball. I don't do that very much in college basketball, but it's gonna be a lot of props. If you guys like pitching props, hitter props, I'll be doing that. So 30 days of plays right now, guys. It's a great time to jump on board with the tournament, with baseball starting in 13 days. You'll get a good mix of both the sports. And then once you like it, you can stay.
And that's just it. I'm confident if anyone starts with you, like I said, follow along, they're going to be hooked. Absolutely. Dude, it's always a pleasure having you on with us. We appreciate it. It's why we keep having you back. Like I said, we screwed up last time and we did this too well. So that's why we had to run it back one more time. And I have a feeling we might have to do at least one more once we're actually into the tournament here.
I'm so down. Yep.
You're in? Okay, cool. Well, I'll let you know because I'm pretty sure that's going to have to happen. All right, man?
All right. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Bet Sharper, everybody. Thank you for coming in. We appreciate it. And definitely follow along because we're streaming a bunch of stuff here with Dub Club TV. And we look forward to bringing you the best cappers we can and talking sports. It's what we're here for.
Yep. Good luck, guys.
All right. Talk to you soon.